Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football tips for Saturday, the 24th of February. Apologies for not being around. It's been a nightmare. I've had internet problems for the last 2 days, so I'm going to keep this as brief as possible for those of you that like the quick selections. The football selections will be in the description and the first comment box. So on we go. So the bet is it's a 10 pence each way Super Heinz that comes to £24. The first selection is No Ordinary Joe at 14 to 1 in the 115 at Kempton. I was pulling my hair out with this race because I wanted it like 5 places. Unfortunately, it's 3 places. But because of the other races offered by Sky Bet providing much better place odds in the other parts of the bet, I actually had to put it on with Sky Bet because the vast majority of the races below this horse have higher payout places than like Bet365. Bet365 were paying out first 4 on No Ordinary Joe, but they were paying worse place terms in the other races. So I've risked it. Fingers crossed that No Ordinary Joe comes in the first 3 in this race, at least. Hopefully it wins. The second selection is Prince Desficho at 14 to 1 in the 8 minutes past 2 race at Newcastle. This is in the Eider chase, paying 5 places instead of 3. This horse is bred to want a long way. Basically, it's been stepped up in trip and it loves heavy ground. I believe it's gradually running into a little bit of form. It's got no weight whatsoever. It's got Danny McMenamin riding at Newcastle. Decent jockey. It needs to improve, but there's so many question marks over a lot of the horses. I was looking at Christopher Wood, and I thought, because funny about Christopher Wood is, I think it was only 4 runs ago. It was running over 2 miles. Well, it's basically doubled in distance. I do think it stays, but I just think there might be something that could beat it. And I think Prince Des Fesho, I've said that wrong, haven't I? With the paying first 5, with it racing near the front, up with the pace, I think it could stay on and at least run a place. The third selection is Thanks for the Help at 13 to 2 in the 8 minutes past 3 race at Chepstow, paying 4 places instead of 3. It won this race last year. I just think basically there's a reason why it's running this race again. I just think it's got a chance. David Pipe's stable are running well. Horses are running well. Fourth selection is Killer Kane at 9 to 1 in the 37 minutes past 3 race at Kempton, paying 5 places instead of 3. I would have preferred this if the going was very slightly quicker, like good to soft. It's currently soft. I actually watched this race. I thought this horse ran a cracker last time out. It came off a wind operation, and I'm not a fan of how I've got to call him Freddie Gingle. I've got to call him that because they keep calling him Gingle, and don't look like that, don't Gingle. So I don't like how that jockey rides, whether he's riding under orders. A lot of the times I find that is forever like bumping them along, and like I'm talking the majority of his horses, or like he doesn't seem to let them settle and actually just run. It's like they're always running a little bit faster than they want to. Well, I thought this horse ran like that last time. It was always being like kicked in the belly and being asked to go forward. And I think that horse might have had like given a bit of a hard race, a tester to really test its wind operation, get the lungs working, have a bit of a hard race, and see how the wind operation worked out. And I think this horse it actually ran on similar ground to today, so it does handle the ground, and I think it'll come on for the run. I think it'll strip a lot fitter, and it actually ran in this race last year. It didn't run fantastic, it ran okay, and I think this horse could run better this year. In my opinion, it was a much better race last year, because I think the top rated horse was rated 161. This year, I believe it's 152. So I think this horse will strip fitter. I was actually looking whether this horse was actually entered at Cheltenham, and it is. But and I'm thinking, they're getting it ready for Cheltenham. However, the race at Cheltenham is only worth 32,000. This race is worth 85. So you're not going to use an 85 grand race as a prep race for Cheltenham. This could be the target. It could be the target for a lot of the horses in this race. But all I'm saying is, I was wrong thinking they were going to aim it. They might still aim it for Cheltenham, but you'd have thought they'd been. It's all about cash, in my opinion. So, Killer Kane, I think it's got a decent chance in this race. The next selection is Aquan at 17-2 in the 4:30 at Southwell, paying 4 places instead of 3. It has the form to win this race. It ran behind a horse called Great Max, I think it was called. It's a decent horse. It's rated 100 and something. It's trained by Ralph Beckett, and this horse was finishing pretty well last time over a different course. And I believe this course, if it handles this course fine, I think it's got a cracking chance. If they want it to run well, if you get what I mean, if they want it to run well, it can run well because it has the form in the book. It's running into a bit of form. 17-2 is not a bad price. The next selection is Simeon at 9-1 in the 5:5 at Southwell, paying 4 places instead of 3. And the final selection is right. The final selection is going to be the nap. It is Cavalluccio at 10-1 in the 6:35 at Southwell, paying 4 places instead of 3. If this horse proves to me what I might actually think about it. So this horse ran at Southwell twice. I think it was a couple of years ago. But it's been running okay. Then all of a sudden, it showed a massive improvement when it ran 2 races at Southwell. It's then ran in and out since. It's done okay. I think it's won a couple since. That was a while back. And then I'm thinking, if this horse absolutely loves Southwell, well, it's running here for the first time since quite a while back. I'm wondering if this horse has got a massive preference for Southwell, you could see a different horse. Even though the horse was running okay at the moment, you might see a jump in form. So I'm thinking, while you've got that possibility, that's the reason why. Because I think it's actually got the, in my opinion, it's got the current form to run a place anyway. But if it's got a massive preference for Southwell, I think you could see this horse run very well and possibly win. Well, they could all possibly win this race, win the race. The horses I've picked, but I think they could have a better chance than most of winning the race. So I would say, out of all the selections, I would say Cavalluccio and Prince Deficio are the most interesting of the horses. So as I said, below is the football bets. It'll be over 2.5, over 3.5 goals, treble, same teams, and also it'll be a first half, both teams to score treble as well. They're quite tasty, they are. So anyway, 8 minutes in, give me a like or subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, or a share if you're on other social media. I'm on no other social media apart from YouTube, so I will really appreciate it. The very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.